I think the role of a teacher in the 21st century, it's a very broad question, but I think the answer is also broad and all encompassing. And what I mean by that is a teacher is primarily a facilitator in today's world. And has been for a few years. So, this is not something that has happened now or this year or because of coronavirus. I think the teacher's biggest role has been that of a facilitator of knowledge transfer, of discussions in the classroom, because the role of transferring knowledge or information from one person to another or from one object to another is long gone and a thing of the past. We see like 1 year olds today operating smartphones. So once the child is literate, which means can do basic reading and writing and mathematical activities, the child can then access all other kinds of information on his or her own. So the teacher primarily becomes the facilitator of all that information from the world around to the child, and also to point out what is good and relevant information and how to access that, and what is generally, just all the information overload that exists in the world, which may not be accurate or relevant. So, how do you distinguish between the two is what the teacher sort of brings systematically. I think this is related to the previous point. Technology has transformed a student's learning experience because technology has enabled the learning to become more accessible to the learner. So learning doesn't only happen through books, so you don't need to wait till you are taught how to read and what the alphabet is and what language is, especially in reading and writing, but you can access it the minute you are even speaking a few words at home in your own mother tongue. So I think the access to language and multimedia information has become very, very relevant today. So children learn a lot more in their own private time on the internet than even than even within the four walls of a classroom sometimes. So there's that, but I think there's also another aspect to this, which is that the learning has become what the learner wants it to be because of technology. So the learning is whatever the learner is that at that moment interested in. So if I want to learn about rocket fuel, I just need to go now and open a smartphone or a laptop and go to Google and type rocket fuel, and I will get all the information in the world that is freely accessible about that topic. So I don't need to wait for a long time to access that learning as a learner, and I can, like, it's immediate, and if I'm interested in something right now, then I have access to it. Those are the pros. Cons, of course, is technology is extremely addictive in nature, so there's always a whole bunch of negative um, side effects because our students use a lot of technology to learn. But if used well, I think the positives can outweigh the negatives. I don't think it has. Um, because I'm focusing on the word completely here. Um, sure, it has brought in some changes to certain methodologies or certain ways of communication with our students, but I don't think it's changed the process of teaching completely. Um, But having said that, there are a few specific skill sets that a teacher needs in this point, and they're all learnable. That's the best thing. And talking from experience, a lot of teachers in our own school were very technologically unaware until even February or March of this year, and now they are setting up Google Classrooms and even recording their own videos as lectures and like putting them on platforms like Edpuzzle and annotating them with questions. I mean, they've come such a long way in terms of this learning. So that's obviously the first skill set. One needs to make the effort to learn technological skills. Whether it's operating the computer and like figuring out the internet and like seeing what powers the internet holds, um, or even learning to use certain websites and like the details of it, the features, and sort of having a keen eye to the details of certain technical things. So, for example, on Google Classroom, which is what our school is using right now, when you're assigning an assignment to students, you need to mark this little checkbox that says assign a different copy to each student. Otherwise, the same Word doc goes to all the students and then they start writing over each other's work. And that can be disastrous as an assignment, right? So small things like that need to be figured out. So someone with a key eye for it, it's an important skill set when you're operating with technology. Um, as skill sets go, if I could count certain values or skill sets, I would say kindness and patience are very important right now. It's very easy to lose patience with technology, and all of us have bad days. When we think everything is going well, we have a great Wi-Fi connection, something happens and you're not able to sign in for a meeting, for instance, or your computer starts acting slow for no reason. So, that every one of us has a bad day, and unfortunately, bad days happen on important days when it comes to technology. So kindness and patience are very important skill sets now more than ever for a teacher. I also think the ability to communicate clearly and precisely is now more important than ever. Like I said, I think a teacher is a facilitator of learning, and in that learning process, because the teacher is now taking a back step and is not the center of attention anymore in the classroom, I would say that an important skill for the teacher to have is also the ability to give instructions and communicate with as much clarity and detail as possible so that the process becomes easy for the students. So, as a teacher, you're removing the obstacles so that the child can learn. So I think that's an important skill set for a teacher today as well. Finland's education is considered to be one of the best in the world. It's a very, very overarching question. I could talk about this for hours. So I don't really know where to start, and I'm not sure how much detail you're looking for. But largely it's a model that works because it's centralized and decentralized in both together but in different ways. It's centralized because all of Finland's schools are public schools and are free for the students. So school is not a place of financial or economic or social barriers to occur because anybody can go to any school in the country and for free. Um, so for that reason, all schools are of great quality. But it's also decentralized because although the curriculum comes from one organization in the country, it's very heavily encouraged for school districts and principals and even down to the classroom teachers to take that curriculum and contextualize it to their environment. So it's extremely what you learn in class as a student is very relevant to you in your personal life. So I think that's one of the striking features of the Finnish education system. But like I said, I don't think I can do justice to an entire country's educational model in just a few minutes. So I will just say that and stop here.